Hi. So, a couple of things I want to talk about today. First of which, Brooklyn Tweed Loft, because this was a bit of a splurge for me. It happens. I was just really curious. The Targhee and the what's the other 50%? Doesn't say. What does it not say? I don't know, that's weird. So it's part Targhee and part, I swear it was Romulé, which is the US version of, or US breed of a merino, I think, something like that. Anyway, I was curious about it because it's supposed to be springy. And springy is an intriguing adjective when it comes to yarn. Also, the colors were just beautiful. I mean, you probably can't see this. It's probably not going to focus on it. I'm going to hold it up here like an idiot anyway, but you know, that's how this goes. The colors were just so intriguing. So I fell for it. But what I found out when I caked up this yarn, it's not just springy. Springy implies, I don't know, like trampoline. It's like an elastic band. It's fabulous, but it's bizarre. It is so bouncy. I mean, really, it felt like I was winding up rubber bands. It was really cool, but a little bit disconcerting. I have not really knit with this yet. I have knit a baby swatch because I was just curious to see what it was going to do. Aside from being freaking beautiful, it's springy. It's so springy. It's so much fun to work with. I can't wait to knit something out of this. And that is all I have to say about Brooklyn Tweed Loft for the moment, but there will be more because this stuff I can't recommend it highly enough. If you are in the market for an intriguing saw, I consider this to be very soft, and it is not superwash, if I remember correctly. It is just non-superwash. It's just yarn, but it is pleasantly soft. It is ridiculously springy, and the colorway this is the colorway postcard, is just freaking beautiful. So, cannot speak more highly on that than anyway. Yeah, it's fabulous. Try some, gift some. The other thing I want to talk about today is the sweater that never ends. So my splurge from last year, I sort of splurge on one yarn a year typically, was Shibui Knits Reed. Yeah, this is a 50% linen, 50% silk, and the colorway Pollen, which is just divinely, ridiculously beautiful. And so I bought what I considered or what I figured would be about a t-shirt's quantity, assuming I could just kind of knit until I ran out of yarn on the sleeves, which would have been true, except then I found, what was the name of this pattern? I don't know, the Filagree sweater by Julie Knits in Paris, which is this, which I am absolutely in love with. It is a beautiful pattern. I did not do the back. The back should have lace work on it. I did not do that. I don't mind doing lace work, obviously. I enjoy the knitting portion, but I would not have worn, I can't teach in with my back showing. It's not a thing I can do. And I definitely wanted to be able to wear this to work, so I did not do that. But the pattern is beautifully written, it's beautifully everything, and I made so many mistakes figuring this out. Mostly because the only needles that this yarn really looked good in were the bamboo chiaogus, which is fine because I happen to have the right ones. I have one set of bamboo chiaogus in US 4, and it gave me the gauge I wanted. And the fabric that I wanted. I am happy with the fabric that this is producing. I mean, it's linen silk, so it's not going to be as neat and tidy as, you know, wool. I'm making a mess. It's not going to be as neat and tidy as wool, but, you know, I still wanted a nice fabric, and this is a very nice fabric. I am very happy with the way that this fabric played. I am very happy with everything about this. So I cast on for a small because there was still, I mean, it's a drop shoulder sweater, so there was still going to be plenty of room in there for me and the girls. But there wasn't as much as there should have been. It was okay. The small was okay for me. Pardon the cats. The small was okay for me. The small was okay for me, but it wanted a little bit more positivity to be able to get the flowy, drapey thing that should have been happening. So I went up to a medium. Oh wait, no, I lied. I reversed that. I started at a medium, and I was going to run out of yarn. I knew I was going to run out of yarn because it is a drop shoulder, and I was planning on a, say, raglan t-shirt. I knew I had the yardage for that. I did not think I'd have the yardage for a very positive, easy drop shoulder, which in the medium size, I did not. The small size, not enough drape. So 3 times I started this sweater. This is between a medium and a small. It is the stitch count between the two because really, especially since I omitted the lace panel, all I was doing was this thing. And making sure that that was lining up properly, everything was centered properly, so that was not exactly hard math. And then I had 4 skeins of this, and I got to about here was 50% of the remaining yarn. No, actually it was a little bit, it's probably around here because I could actually see where the changes because I haven't woven anything in. Got to around here. And it just wasn't quite long enough. It didn't work. It wasn't like it was bad, but it didn't work. So I said, screw it. I bought a 5th skein, and I'm gonna finish the things. What's ridiculous about this is that I am most likely actually am going to end the sleeves here, which comes to about here on me. Yeah, which is just that extra, little bit makes all the difference in the world as per fit. It looks good, I think. I don't actually have a full-length mirror, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I think I like it. And I'm trying to find a full-length mirror, which is why I haven't found this off. But, which means that I really am going to barely use any of the 5th skein. But I don't care because I have a sweater I like. This is how it goes. So yeah, I knit this sweater a bunch of times, which is good because it's a really beautiful, easy pattern to follow. It's really easy to memorize the front lace. It's really easy to read the front lace. So once you remember what you're doing, you no longer have to look at it. You just keep going, which I quite appreciate in a pattern. And it's very flattering. So yeah, very, very happy with this, what will eventually be this sweater. I've been working on this forever, all summer, basically, on and off. And that's okay. I wanted to have it for the summer. I'll have it for, well, it's hot here. So I'll have it for the winter, which is kind of like summer here. Yep. Again, the Filagree Julie Knits in Paris. Oh, the other thing that I did, that was the other thing I wanted to say about this. Take notes. Take really good notes. Because you think you're not going to need them, you think you're going to remember, and you never do. Because I have no idea how I did this sleeve. Not a clue in the world. I am having to go back. That's the other part of the reason that it's sitting on the needles is that once I bind this off, I'm going to have to go back and figure out what the hell I did. Which is why I didn't even have pins at the decreases, which usually I do. For whatever reason, I did not. I think it's because I was following pattern to begin with. So when I started, I was following pattern, and then the decreases were a little bit too steep for me. So I made them a little more sporadic. But I didn't pay any attention to how I did that. So now I have to go back and work out what the hell I did and count stitches and stuff like that, which is, it's not fun. It's stupid. It's unnecessary. All I had to have done was taken good notes to begin with, and I would not be doing this, but that's the way it goes. So that is what I got for knitting for you for the moment. Julie Knits in Paris, the absolutely beautiful Filagree and Shibui Knits Reed. Highly recommend both. Really, the drape on this yarn is so fantastic, and it's going to be a really nice lightweight sweater. It is cheap, but if you do the webs, 4 skeins of this kicks you over into the 20% discount. So I think it ended up being a $60 something sweater, which is a little bit expensive for me, but is, for what it is, really not bad at all. This I got at Church Mouse, Yarns and Tees. Why, I don't know. I just did. They were adorable, so I wanted to give them my money. So I did. And again, I highly recommend trying this yarn. Everything I have read says it's bouncy, and that bouncy doesn't do it justice. It's really cool. There will be more on this later once I have knit it. This is going to be a vest. So once I get that started, which is going to be a while from now because for reasons that defy logic and reason, I started a boxy. I think I wanted to have a lot of knitting that was really mindless, and a boxy is a lot of knitting that's really mindless. 390 stitches for size small. 390 for 40 centimeters. So I'll be knitting that for a while. I might take a break and do the vest. That's actually a pretty good idea. And that's what I got. Thanks for watching. See you later.